countdown to Christmas. My name's Leanne and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to make a shaker card. I received this one from a friend of mine. Just a simple one in a swap that we had last month. Her name's Jen. And I'm going to do this same layout, but I'm going to do it with my own twist to it. So if you've never done a shaker card before, I hope this encourages you to try one because it really is quite simple. All right, so excuse me. We're going to use Snowy Wonder, which I used in another video, and we're going to use the dies that go with Snowy Wonder, and they're a bit scattered over my desk, so I'm not going to show you yet. What I did do is buy the whole suite, okay? So if you go to the link below in this video, there'll be a link to the suite or the bundle. You could check it all out there. There's coordinating designer paper. It's called Snowy Scenes, and this is just some of the paper that's in there that we're going to use today, and this is another one. And what I love so much about this paper, and a lot of the papers actually, if they're in a bundle or part of a bundle or a suite, they tend to have dies that go with them. So these trees here and these plain snowmen, you can all cut out using the dies that come in the Snowy Wonder bundle. You can even actually, let's see if I can find the die. I think it's right here. Okay, so you can even punch out or cut out the snowmen with the hats or the earmuffs on them. You're obviously not going to go all the way through or you'll cut his hat off. But if you run it through your machine, just until the rollers that are in there get to the neck. And then you can pull it out and just fussy cut. That works really well. Or just fussy cut it if you want to. But that's what I did. I just put it through my embossing machine up until the neck. And then I pulled it out and I fussy cut the rest of it out. So that's kind of a fun thing. So I took one of the sheets, see, as you get two of each design, right? And so I took one and I just cut out all the snowmen, all the trees, even some of the snowflakes had a die, so I cut them all out and basically made my own ephemera pack, really. Anyway, we're going to use that, and we're going to use Peaceful Season and the dies. We're specifically going to use the Christmas one as well. So let's just get started. I'm going to use 3 colors. I've already cut myself a base in Pool Party, so this is 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm going to bring in some Garden Green, and I've cut that down just 1/8 of an inch on all 4 sides. So that would be 4 1/8, and then 5 3/8. And then Poppy Parade. And Poppy Parade also is going to get cut down another 1/8. So basically 4 by 5 1/4, which would be kind of normally what I would do for a, you know, to have a, what am I trying to think? A frame. But this one, I just wanted to do it like Jen did it on her card, and I like 1/8 of an inch borders. Don't ask me why. I just do. Some of you probably don't like that fussy cutting down to that 1/8 of a size, but it doesn't bother me. All right. So in order to do our window, we're gonna need some window sheets. So I've cut mine down. I don't know if you can see my window sheet. I'm gonna cut it down to, so this is 4 inches, so I don't want to be at 4 inches. I'm going to do it 1/8 of an inch smaller. Oh, I could turn this around the right way. And I will cut mine down to just under 4. You can do 3 and whatever, 8, 9, what? 9/16. I'm going to do 3 7/8. And then I'm going to turn it and do another 3 7/8. Now I'm bugged about that. What is that last measurement? 16th, 15th, 16th. Oh my word. Oh my word. I don't know if you guys saw the parody on Saturday Night Live about measurements, but it's hysterical. You gotta watch that. Google it if you haven't seen it. It's quite funny. Anyway, we will take, that's gonna go on there. So what I want to do is take the snow globe die that comes in your bundles that you get, the Snowy Wonder Bundle. Snowy Wonder Bundle. And we're gonna cut that out. But we're also gonna run that through an embossing folder. So it's up to you. I like to cut my image out first and then run it through the embossing folder. If you run it through the embossing folder and then cut it, you can certainly do that, but the second time you go through it, you'll flatten your design of your embossing folder. So I would prefer to cut it out first, which I'm gonna do. Let's just put this like this. Cut it out first and then run it through the embossing folder. So I'm gonna go do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished doing all of that and here is what that looks like. Now I already went ahead and I used some designer paper from Country Woods, and they're all different pieces of paper that have these printed wood designs on them. And I cut out the base, so that is also a die that is in the Snowy Wonder. And we'll just glue that to the bottom, and then we'll glue on our window sheet. You're also going to need for this some foam adhesive strips. You could use your dimensionals if you wanted to. You'll use an awful lot of them, but that's okay. That's what they're there for, right? Okay, so there's my snow globe. I'm going to turn this over. Here's my window sheet. Now what I like to do is take some double-sided tape, some Suquang or the Terran tape from Stampin' Up. And instead of putting it on the window sheet, I'm going to put it on the back of the cardstock. I prefer to do it this way. I feel like I have more control this way. So I'm putting it pretty close to the circle. And I am going to grab my tweezers or my pick tool, whatever I can find. And I'm going to take this layer off because I want a good seal, so I want to go over top of that, some of that Terran tape, so that when I put my window sheet down, there are no gaps. Okay, just like that. Pull that up. Pull that up. Now take my window sheet, and because it's a perfect square, I don't have to remember what side goes where. So there we go. We got our window sheet on, just like that. And I want to put some DSP in the background. So just like that window sheet, I'm going to bring in some designer paper, and I'm going to use my favorite piece of the whole pack, which this is all I have left, because I use it so much. And I will do the same thing, about 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And I know that that is going to fit underneath, just like that. But I'm going to apply it to the garden green. So let's do that. It's so hard sometimes to cut up the designer paper when both sides are so pretty, but you gotta do it. All right, so this should, well, I know it will. All right, and then we're gonna pop this up with some foam adhesive strips. But before I do that, I'm gonna play around with a few different things here. I'm gonna bring in my Christmas die. And I've already cut some garden green here, and I've applied some adhesive sheets. So this is double-sided adhesive sheets. This just will help it stick down without having to use glue. And I just find glue on word type dies a bit fussy, so I'd rather use my adhesive tape. So let me just go cut that out and I'll be right back. Okay, now that I have that cut out, I'm just gonna put that off to the side for a minute. So, like I said earlier, or if I didn't, I should have. I went ahead and I cut out a whole bunch of pieces from one of the sheets in the DSP paper. So see, I did cut this out with the hat using the die, but I just punched it out. I should say rolled it out with my Big Shot just till I got to here. And then I took it out and I just fussy cut the rest of it out. But even these ones that were on the edge of the paper, there's lots of things you can do with that too. Maybe tuck them in underneath maybe. I mean, don't waste it, right? All right, so let's play around. I kind of know what I want to do here. I think I want some trees inside my snow globe. I'm bringing my scissors here. I do have some temporary adhesive tape, which I love to play with because I can actually play around with where I want things and not have it moved. So let's say I want my tree there. That kind of works for me. I might put them a little lower, just like that. Let's bring in one of these smaller trees. So this is just temporary tape, so you can literally rub it off with your finger. It's this one is by Mono. All right, so I've got 2 trees there, and I'm gonna bring a tree in over on the other side. Let's see. I do that. So that's going to be inside my snow globe with some snowflakes. So basically a wintry scene. And I'm going to take one of these snowmen. I think I'll take this guy, and he's going to be on the outside. Kind of like that. I think that's what I want to do. So let me gently pick this up, bring in some glue, turn this over. I'm gonna kind of put my finger here so I know where the base of that tree went. Whoop. Rub off that temporary tape. Put some glue on. It might not end up exactly where it was before, but nearby is good enough. All right, like that. Pull this off like that. It's kind of like rubber cement. I don't know if, boy, when we were kids, I used that a lot in school, rubber cement. And we always made those big rubber cement balls. Like, psh, it was always a bit of a challenge to see how big you could make your rubber cement ball. That's aging me. That's aging me. All right, let's take this guy up. Rub that off. You don't have to rub this off. You can just put glue over it if you want. No big deal. Put some glue on there. Ooh, it's a bit too much. That was a bit gluey. Came out a bit fast. Let's just rub some of that off. I don't want that oozing out. And we'll put that there. Let's bring this back in. So that's what it's going to look like. And then we're going to put Mr. Snowman up here. And you know, I'm going to bring in some red and white twine before I do anything. And I wonder, I'm going to round 2 pieces. Okay, I'll do that a bit later. Let's take our Christmas that I cut out earlier. Don't lose the little top of the eye there. And let's see if we can put this on the bottom of the card. So this is where I want to put them. Let's peel this off. Now, some people like to peel this off slowly, put one letter down at a time. Kind of doesn't work for me. So I'd rather just take the whole backing off. Be careful not to distort my words too much. It is quite sticky, so I do recommend you use a tool pick or something instead of your fingers. Oop. Peel that off. See, it sticks to my nails if I'm not careful. Okay. All right. Let's turn this over. We're going to have it go down at the bottom here. So it does kind of twist out of shape a little bit, but it's very easy to pop back into its original shape. All right, just like that. Let's bring in the eye from Christmas. I did this on my last video. Well, I did it and then didn't work this time. To try and get the back off while it was in the die. And then the placement was easier, but it doesn't want to do that today. So let's try and get the back off. Such a tiny little piece. There we go. And put that up. There we go. Christmas. So the other thing I want to do is bring in a little bit of white designer paper and some garden green ink. This is the only stamping I'm going to do on this card. Is stamp Mary. Just down here. Like that. And then take my scissors and cut this on an angle. And I'm not even going to put this through my trimmer. I'm just going to guess. Such a short little piece. We'll do that. And I think we'll put this maybe here. You know what? I'm actually going to make this a tad thinner just because it's bugging me. Don't ask me why. Just want it to be slightly narrower. Okay. So I think I'm going to put it here. I might put it here. It all depends where this ribbon is going to go. And we still have to pop up our Poppy Parade piece with some foam adhesive. So before we put that down, why don't we do that? Why don't we bring in some foam adhesive strips, and first we'll go around the snow globe, just like that. And I will tuck up, I'll tuck these pieces together so they're touching, right? Because you don't want any pieces to get through. Once you put your snowflakes in there, you don't want any gaps. All right. This is kind of the trickiest part, I think, of the whole process here, because you have to now line this up. So I'm going to say the card is very easy, but this is the trickier part. And so you have a gap there. You don't want a gap there. So I'm just going to cut a little piece and hope it fits. Let's see. Squeeze it in there. There we go. Okay, so I do want this. I should put some pieces down here as well, because you don't want that to sit flat. That wouldn't look very good. So add some extra pieces in here. Over here. Maybe one down here. Just to give it lots of stability. Okay, so this is a bit tricky, lining this up, because my borders are pretty tiny. So I'm going to use a little trick. First, I'm going to put my snow in the middle of this part of the card. It's always hard to know how many to put in, isn't it? I'll put in about that much. Oops, static already. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'm going to peel these bottom pieces because I can't, there's kind of no trick to those ones. But these ones that are along the edges, if you just get them started, I don't think the bottom's going to matter, so I'm going to peel the bottoms off anyways, even this one. The ones that matter to me is the top. Actually, I'll do the bottom. I'll fold it over so there's a little bit sticking out. I'll do the same for this. And I'll do the same for this top piece. So I'll have a little bit of wiggle room when I put this over top. Now I'm going to stand up because I need to kind of be as far over top of it as I can without getting my head in the video. So this should work. I'm going to line up the top, and I think that'll work. Like that. Okay, so I like that. The bottom is down. Now I just have to pull these pieces and kind of push everything down. There we go. That's that. And you know, if you really wanted a safer way to do that, you could make your green, garden green piece underneath much bigger and then just trim it down when you're done. That's another way to do it. All right, so there we got the shaking cards in there. Look at, some of them are on their sides, but there we go. There we go. Okay, so that's good. So now we have Christmas. We have our Mary, and I'm going to bring in some twine. Let's do that. I'm going to wrap that around the bottom here twice. Just tie a knot, because I don't like doing bows. I don't know about you, but too fussy, especially when you have nails. All right, so I can move that around a little bit where I want it to be. I'm gonna use Mr. Snowman with the hat. So I want to put him in between the trees. So should I put him here? So I have a few options. I can pop him up if I want to. I might do that because, you know, it's kind of nicer than glue. So I have some dimensionals. Let's add some of those with my tweezers. 1, 2, 3, 1 on his hat. Pick that off. Okay. And then I want to go under or over the ribbon. I think I'll go over it. So I will kind of like that. And let's bring in Mary. And I could pop Mary up too. I don't think it really matters, but I would need these to be a little thinner. I think they're too thick. Yep. So let's cut those in half. I do have the minis, but I don't feel like getting them right now. I'm not sure actually where they are. All right, so bring in that. And then once we're done, we can put it, there we go. I think that's cute. All right, there we go. Now I'll use glue for the back. Give it a good generous slop. Turn that over. It's a bit of a heavier card, I have to say, with all those layers, but really very simple to do. At least I hope that looked simple. There you go, a Merry Christmas shaker card with some white loose snowflakes in them. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and you guys are getting yourselves ready for Christmas. I know it can be an anxious time of year for sure for everybody, and we will see you next week for another video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.